Hey now, ladies and gentlemen. Hey now, hey now, hey now, and hey now. Hour number 3 of the Line Talk 99.5, where Jumbird eats his lunch. What are you eating today, there, buddy? You still on a carnivore diet or what?
No, I'm eating a tofu.
Tofu.
Mm-hmm.
We have tofu in the cafe now.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
It
It tastes just like Funyuns. That's the great thing about it.
Sounds
A different
disgusting.
flavored tofu.
Did you get Funyuns?
No, I got Funyuns flavored tofu.
Let's see. Hold it up to the
Oddly
camera.
enough, it's in a bag that looks like Funyuns.
Okay, it's Funyuns. We get it. We get it.
You know,
So-
Funyuns are lots of fun to eat.
So is there no dedicated diet going on right now?
No, I just got back from visiting my sister and brother-in-law, and, you know, we always eat well. So I'm going to cut up some chicken before the podcast, and I'm going to do chicken all week.
Chicken all week.
Mm-hmm.
I did chicken quesadillas last night. I got from Costco. Man, those quesadillas are so good.
Dang.
So good with that Costco guacamole that almost killed me in the store. Got that. And also some, what do we call them? We call them gyro? Gyro?
Gyro.
I got some of those. They got a kit, a Euro kit.
Oh,
you put
dang.
together.
This week I've got to get my membership.
It'd take you about 10 minutes.
Can you do it online?
No, I don't think so. Because they got to take your picture and put it on the card.
I can send them a picture. I'd rather have that. I'll send
no.
them my own special picture.
You need to go out there, man. And it's right down the street from you. It's not even that far away. So you need to plan on doing that, Coles. Anyway, if you want to get in, 205-545-9950. If you hate Jews, I'm not going to argue about the Jews with you. It's a dumb argument. And I mean, even the whole Jews have been kicked out of 109 countries. I mean, there's only 190-something countries in the entire world. Like, yeah, but different groups of people have been kicked out of different countries. But even if you look into it, there's not really 109 countries that Jews have been kicked out of. There are different. I mean, there are countries, but they'll go through and they'll count cities and towns and principalities or other regions from over the many centuries that. Edicts had come down and they say, the Jews, and many of them are Middle Eastern countries. Well, of course, they're going to kick the Jews out of there, And this is a group of people that, went for most of time without a homeland. So, which is why in, 1945, they designated Israel a place for the Jews. And every ethnicity's got bad people in it, and even with like stereotypes, I love stereotypes. I think they're funny. I think we should acknowledge stereotypes more often. It's just kind of it's a lazy argument. It's just lazy. Let's get to the phones though. Got plenty to talk about on that front. Let's start off with Tom, Pass City. Tom, what's up?
Man, talking about the preachers, I was there at Highlands when Chris Hodges was getting death threats, dude, left and right and everything. It was a crazy time. We went there right before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then we left and everything. So, but they had a ton of police around the campus and everything. Man, it was scary.
What were the death threats over?
Just about, like you said, everything else and all that.
Oh, with the
Charlie Kirk stuff.
Charlie Kirk post, yeah.
Saying stuff that uprile people and all that. So, and my pastor, I had a situation at my church. A transgender was sitting across the aisle from me, and I wanted to go talk to him and everything. My wife was like, "Don't you dare go talk to him or anything like that." And I said, "Come on, if he wants forgiveness," I was going to go there and talk to him and everything and see what was going on. And, he has not been back yet. He has not come back to that church. I wanted to say, you need to go to the Methodist church, man. You're in the wrong church.
Maybe that was it. Maybe he just he didn't realize.
He didn't know which church. Yeah.
He went to the wrong one.
That. My pastor will call you out. He'll call a spade, a man's a man, a woman's a woman. And if he sees you wearing a hat in the church, he will tell you to take that hat off in church.
Yeah, I see a lot of that nowadays too, and maybe it's just the way I grew up, but I don't think you should be wearing a hat in church.
No, nor shorts. I mean, shorts to me, that's just too casual. That's taking it. To me that's disrespectful. But whatever.
Wow, let's not take it too far. I mean, we can go at least khaki shorts.
They've gotten lack on the wardrobe. Let's put it that way.
Well,
in the old days,
true.
Do you think they would catch people wearing shorts in the old days?
No.
With our moms and dads? Heck no. They are suit and ties and dresses all day long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My dad popped me in the head if I was wearing a hat in the church of the Lord.
No doubt.
He said, "Take that hat off, boy. You in the house of the Lord." I said, "Okay."
That's right.
All right, y'all. I'll let you later.
All right, see you, Gus. Did I ever tell that story about how I passed out in church one time?
No.
And I put my head through a wall when I fell out?
What?
Yeah. So they had us like standing up and sitting down, and I don't remember what was happening. I was probably like 14 or something. And I'm on the end of the pew, and to my right is like a stairwell. So there's a wall that kind of blocks the stairwell, that kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a retaining wall almost. And I just, at some point, I passed out, and I just fell directly to my right, and boom, put my head through the wall, put a big hole in it. And they dragged me out into the lobby and got me some crackers and a Sprite, and
kicked you out of the church.
They didn't kick me out.
Man.
I don't know what happened with that. I don't know. And it was weird because it was only like a year ago. The same thing happened to Peyton. He was at like a Chipotle or something with his buddies, and he just passed out right there in the restaurant. And of course his buddies freaked out, so they called us and called 911, called the ambulance, and the freaking ambulance took him to the hospital, and it turned out to be nothing. There's some kind of thing, I don't remember how she explained it, but there's something that can cause an unexplained pass out. Just something that kind of triggers in your brain, and you just black out, and it's not anything life-threatening or whatever. And he just had that. I guess that's what I had back then.
You sure it's not low blood sugar?
No, they checked all that. They checked everything, and he was good. But he just got pale and passed right on out. Bubba Rumble up next. What's up, Bubba?
Hey now.
Hey now.
God bless the Hey Now Nation. Like we on the right side of all this. We know what right or wrong is. It's called living in the Word.
Living in the Word.
And Brother Tom's pastor seems like the kind of church you want to be going to when he's calling people out for dressing sloppy in shorts when they go to church.
Yeah. They
Who does that? Who does that?
Can't do it. Can't allow it.
So anyway, like I had my mind made up that you were probably wearing an orange jumpsuit picking up trash doing community service yesterday. But then I find out Bibi Netanyahu's in our country, and maybe you was over collecting your $7,000 Jew money check yesterday instead.
I know. I still haven't picked that up. I need to I don't know where to pick it up at, but I need instructions ASAP because I could really use that $7,000 for the bathroom remodeling that we're doing.
That would come in handy right about now, and don't tell me you got only through the beating the walls down with the hammer stage of your bathroom remodel, though. I hope you got a little more done than that. I mean, that is the fun part, though.
That is all we've done so far. The problem is I'm waiting on Trish to pick out a new vanity, which like a new sink and all that, and she hasn't done it. So I'm kind of at a standstill until she makes that move.
Well, yeah, and don't think you could just swing on by the old Home Depots or whatever and just pick a vanity up. You got to let her pick it out. I think she probably got better taste in interior design than you do anyway.
Yeah. And we're thinking about replacing the shower as well. But again, that's another thing that she's got to pick out and make sure it fits and all kinds of stuff. It's a whole thing.
Well, if you got it all torn out already and you're just down to bare studs and a shower enclosure, you might want to just go ahead and finish what you started and go that route, because nothing dates a bathroom more than an old shower.
I agree. Because you'll see like videos and stuff, and people have this nice, fancy, open shower. I want one where the water comes from like the ceiling. Like it doesn't even have a sprayer. I want it like a waterfall shower. I want one of the real fancy ones.
Heck yeah, you want a shower that causes climate change.
That's right. I want to use it. I want it to pump out so much water that the rest of the neighborhood can't even get any.
Can't even get a drink of water.
That's right.
And like, why stop with just the above one? I've done some. I swung the hammer like my fellow hammerhead Jay Bizzle did. I did it for many, many years, and and when I was still in the game per se, people was doing the overhead shower head, and they got squirters coming out the wall and out the floor. They got like 6, 7 shower heads in there. So don't limit yourself.
I like that, actually. I want that.
You can probably even like just build a bidet into your shower if you wanted to.
Yes, that would be great.
Well, nothing too transcendent today. I did. Trump was killing it, roasting Caitlin Collins and stuff, and you've already touched on that. But the only person in media that's got more of a man face than Caitlin Collins is Greta Van Susteren. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. She is, again, sure, she's a super nice lady, but she has, as they would say, a face for radio, but she's on TV.
See, and that's a lesson in perseverance. She didn't let that stop her from becoming a TV personality. And I don't know if Dylan Mulvaney's making Caitlin Collins feel any better, reaching out to Caitlin, talking about how it feels to be misgendered as a transgender woman.
I know. And again, CNN, Caitlin Collins, the left, they find themselves in this weird spot where they have to criticize the fact that she's being compared to transgender Dylan Mulvaney. And it's like, well, why are you offended by that? I thought you loved Dylan Mulvaney. I thought you loved the trans community. You should be honored because Dylan Mulvaney's honored by it. Why are you not honored, Caitlin?
That's right. We're getting a real-time lesson in circular libtard logic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. Good to hear my boys back on the air. And I was out and about driving around. I didn't catch a lot of the show, but when I did catch the last part of the show yesterday, old Brian was spitting fire up in that microphone. So, yeah he's a good feeling.
I believe it. He's a good dude.
Damn, let's get back to it. Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Yeah, Brian Dawson. He gets after it. 1819 News, if y'all ain't following them on all the socials and everything. He's got a pretty good podcast, too. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. He had Tucker Carlson in studio. And he gets some pretty important people. And he knows all the important people in Alabama, too. I think I just heard a commercial for their gala that they've got coming up. I wonder if I could get invited to that. Bert, if I could get us invited to that, would you go? Me, you, and Trish
Yes.
go? You would go? We'll have to wear suits, though. We'll have to dress up in a suit and tie, I'm sure. Unless it costs a bunch of money. If I got to buy a table, I'm not going to go.
Why?
Well, it's just because I'm not a gala type of person.
Well, you might want to change that with you being a personality.
Yeah, but I'm not going to pay $4,000 for a table or whatever it is.
It's not going to be $4,000.
I don't know. And they may not even be selling tables. I don't know. I don't know how all of it works. But it's at Barber's, and that's a pretty good venue. Tommy Tupperville's going to be there.
Yeah, well, you know what? You don't know until you find out.
Yeah, I'll ask him about it, see if we can go. Make us feel important for once.
Yeah, I'll make a phone call.
Yeah. Call all the important people you know. 205 545 9950. Here's what's interesting, and I'll tackle this when we get back. Despite what you hear from people, whether it's Democrats or Jew haters or whatever, apparently the public trusts Donald Trump more on Iran than they trust the Democrats. And that is shocking many of the media because they have worked overtime to convince the rest of the country that Donald Trump has screwed the pooch on this deal. But the American people don't feel that way. 205 545 9950. I'll give you that info right after this. All right, here we go. 205-545-9950. Let's keep it going. I'll give you that info on the Iran war popularity with Trump here in a moment. First, let me get James. James, what's up?
Hey, this is the Alabama Jammer.
Alabama Jammer. What's up, cuz?
Yeah, I've been trying to call, but John Burke keep hanging up on me.
Dang, John Bird, what are you doing, bro?
No, what happens is we get a lot of robocalls, so I've gotten.
I knew that's what it was.
Yeah, I got to the
figured
point
I'd
as
just
soon
keep
as I hear
calling.
a gaga,
Yeah.
But I got you now.
And for some context, James is in prison. You're in the Alabama DOC, right?
That's correct.
Which prison are you in?
32 years. Do what now?
Which prison is it?
William E. Donaldson.
I gotcha. You're in Donaldson. So what's up?
Yeah. I wanted to comment on this dude that called in about the 109 countries and Jews. That's like if a Republican goes to 109 Democrat parties, they're gonna get kicked out. You know.
Yeah.
That's just a stupid comparison. A bar. I mean, come on, man. You can do better than that.
Well, and it's mincing. There's no credible historical evidence of that. Are there places that Jews have been kicked out of over the centuries? Obviously, and there's some weird times when you go and dig up history. There's some weird times. I mean, people did not. It was human nature back then for people to not like individuals that were not like them, groups of people that were not like them, and so they get expelled from the country, and that's just the reality of the human race.
Yeah, it sounds like he's agreeing with Hitler that Hitler was right for throwing the Jews out. I mean, come on, man. I don't know. It kind of touched me the wrong way. I'm not Jewish or nothing, but I do have some Jewish friends, and that's a stupid. It was just stupid to me, and I just wanted to touch on that and let y'all know I'm still alive. 32 years in Alabama DOC, wrongly convicted, but hey, I'm happy and it's all good. I tried to call in yesterday when Brian was on, but John Bird, he was doing his thing.
Yeah, you gotta look out for those collect calls, John Bird. You gotta listen, hear them out.
Yeah, well, see, I've gotten to the point where as soon as I hear that automated female, I hang up. But now I've got you on the call list now, buddy.
That's what's up. All right, man. Well, y'all have a good one, and I no longer have one of them illegal devices. I'm went completely legit. My attorney's got me back in court, so she told me to stay out of trouble. So I'm not doing the illegal cell phone thing no more right now. So
I got
no
you.
more YouTube and no more. Yeah.
Well,
but anyway,
keep us updated on how that goes.
Will do.
All right, buddy.
Y'all have a good one.
See you, cuz.
Hey
now. There's Alabama Jammer. Yeah, that was we had talked to him before, and he's got a little bit of an interesting case that I've actually, once I get time, I'll probably try to talk to his attorney to maybe get the full story. Because ironically enough, the attorney that represents him, I believe, is in the same building as my attorney, Chuck Davis. So I'm going to try to, sometime in the near future, I know I've probably said that before, but I'm going to try to go meet her and just talk to her and hear it out when I got some time to cut loose. We're big in the prison community, John Bird.
Yes, we are, sir. We're there for everyone.
No doubt about it. And plus, we kind of spearheaded getting the word out about the Alabama Solution documentary as well, and the atrocities happening in Alabama prisons. Bubba Rumble says Joe Exotic ain't even called in yet, but Alabama Jammer did. How about that? Yeah, that's a problem in itself. We've got to figure out a way to get in touch with Joe Exotic. As a matter of fact, over the weekend, let me see. I think I screenshotted this. He posted that he said this is the very last asset I own. He said I must sell all of my music to pay for my attorney bill to push my pardon. So all he has left, all Joseph Maldonado has left, the Tiger King, is his music that he owns.
I don't know how much he's going to get for that.
Which consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 songs. Let's test one out while we're at it. Look up I Saw a Tiger, which he's got fits. Some of these vary. He's got either 100% ownership of the song and video or 50% ownership of the song and video. Actually, I think he's got 100% ownership on all of them except for I Saw a Tiger, where he's 50% in. He says they're individually priced, and they vary from $2K, $5K, $8K, and there's one song that's $15,000. I Saw a Tiger. This one's he's selling for $15,000. But if you want all the songs, he'll give them to you for $50,000. He says over the last 5 years, the royalties on these songs have paid $36,000. So I guess maybe, I don't know that the royalties will be paying anything these days unless a new Tiger King documentary comes out.
He's got 2.6 million plays on this one just on Spotify.
Here's Joe Exotic with I Saw a Tiger.
Tell all the hunters to lay down their guns. Tell them that the tiger needs a little bit of love. Let them run the jungle. Let them roam their land. Then stand back and marvel. What a beautiful cat. 'Cause I saw a tiger. Now I understand. I saw a tiger. And the tiger saw a man. I give him a home.
That's so good. And I have never been convinced that that's actually him singing, by the way. Because, you know, he's got that little squeaky voice.
Yeah.
I don't think he was ever singing on those tracks.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering myself.
Well, yeah, he owns the music, but I don't think he actually sings them. So anyway, if any of y'all are looking for a piece of history, a piece of Tiger King history, you know, even as little as $2,000 can get you ownership of a Tiger King song. If anybody's interested. Maybe that'll be the route we take. We reach out to him and say, hey, we want to help promote the selling of your music. And so why don't you come on the show? We'll talk about it, and we'll see if we can find you some buyers.
Yeah, and maybe if he could, I know they don't allow cell phones, but if there's any way he could get hold of one and get one of the inmates to video him singing it, we could make an actual video of it.
Yeah. Man. What a wild story. I thought about, because I was talking to my kid about it, and he's never watched it. He's never watched Tiger King. You know, he's about 10 years old when it came out, I guess, during COVID. And I told him, I said, we need to sit down and watch it because it is a thrilling story. It is a wild one. It'll go down as one of the better documentaries of all time. Tiger King. And there's been so many offshoots, like spinoffs of, kind of following the people that worked at the what was the name of the ranch or the zoo he had? I can't even remember. I remember Carol Baskin's was Big Cat Ranch.
Yeah, I can't
or Big
remember.
Cat something.
Remember his.
But if it wasn't for that bitch Carol Baskin, he wouldn't even be in prison.
Yep.
Poor guy. They nailed him to the wall. Anyway, that's not what I meant to talk about. I had something else I was going to talk about. Oh, I just watched this is what it was. I just watched a video of a guy who took a lady out on a date. And these people look like they're in probably their 50s. And you got to imagine, and some of y'all may know this firsthand, I got to think that dating in your 50s is not easy, right? I'm just assuming dating in your 50s is not easy. And even in your 60s. I mean, I don't know that John Bird's technically dating, but if he decided to hit the dating scene or make a Tinder profile, I guess he would be the exception. It probably would be pretty easy for you to find love.
Yeah, I mean, I've been down that road.
But in this particular video, you had a guy, again, in their 50s and a woman that were on a date, and she pulls out her cell phone, and she's saying in this video, this guy I'm on a date with won't let me take food home from the date to give to my kids. And then she turns around and puts the cell phone on him and starts berating him. And he's like, do you normally video people when you go on a date? She's like, yeah. He's like, well, okay, so people know what you're trying to do is we have ordered dinner. I am going, and this is a first date, by the way. He said, I am paying for our dinner, mine and yours, but now you are trying to order 5 or 6 more plates on top of that so you can take them home and feed your 5 kids. And he's like, I'm not paying for that. And she's like, you ain't going to pay for the date. He's like, I'm not paying to feed your 5 kids on a first date. Some people, man, the audacity. I just thought that was fascinating. I didn't realize people did that. That's so wild. Lamar is in Bluntsville. Lamar, what's up?
Hey, guys. As they would say in Spanish, it's mucho caliente today.
Mucho caliente. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, mucho. Yeah, I was talking to some young guys at work this past weekend, and I said, I want to ask y'all some questions. How many of y'all believe in socialism? One of them raised his hand. I said, why do you believe? Well, it's better than capitalism because Trump is a Nazi and all this kind of stuff. I said, you're not educated very well. I said, let me tell you something. My grandfather fought in World War II against the Germans. His brother fought against the Japanese. And my grandfather looked at me and he said, what if we have lost that battle? He said, you'd have been speaking German right now and communist and been ruled. I said, you don't understand one thing about socialism. That's another word for communism. Your rights, freedom of speech will be gone. Second Amendment gone. Right to privacy of your own home gone. You'll be standing in line just to get groceries and hope they don't run out before you get them. I said, y'all are brainwashed. And, they wouldn't even hardly listen to me because me being an older guy, they said, well, you're outdated and you don't know what you're talking about. We know. I said, oh, my Lord. And so where I work, it's like oil and water with us older guys versus the young guys. And they're just so snooty and haughty and everything. And if they think they're old, everything. I said, let me tell y'all something. Y'all ain't owed anything. Your parents get you grown. You make choices in a free country, whether you make it big or you stay small. You can't do that in communist countries. I said, people are trying to leave those countries. Here, y'all are brainwashed. I said, y'all voting Democrats? I call them Democrats. Yeah, we're going to vote. I said, man, and I got thinking about it. When our time goes, where me and the older generation are gone, we got to depend on this younger generation to take care of this country, and it looks scary right now.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, it's almost as if we need them to have a little taste of socialism to understand why it doesn't work. And maybe that's to look at it as glass half full. Maybe there's a bright side to the mom dummies of the world coming in and doing things like opening government owned grocery stores and watching it fail miserably in real time. Now that may not change anybody's mind, but maybe it does.
I was thinking about this. You got some states like New York and them that's going communist, and some states that want to be free and vote Republican. How's that going to work eventually? Won't they start clashing like AOC was wanting to New York to come up and pull up on the South? But that was a stupid comment, because whatever they do up there, just leave us alone down here, because you wake up that sleeping giant, you'll regret it. Because us Southern boys around here, Southern women, we'll fight for our land down here, and we don't miss.
Yeah.
I thought that was the dumbest thing I ever heard her say, but she did it behind bulletproof glass.
Of course
I
you
know
did.
you got some Democrats that are listening to this show. Leave us Southern boys alone.
Yeah, so
pushing us around.
Tell me this: what kind of, you were talking about the young coworker? What kind of work is that coworker doing?
Well, he's in there where they try to get on their cell phone and play on as much as they can. And there's parts at a company where we make parts for our companies like Toyota, Nissan, and they're just working in the sorts department where you go through the bad parts, and they just take their sweet time, and they're no hurry, and they're not. You can tell they don't. I told him I want to see his hands. His hands were softer than my wife's hands, so he never done manual labor.
Yeah.
And I said, well, let me tell you something. When I was growing up, we didn't have all these cell phones, Ataris. We actually used our brains and had to figure out to do things. Our dads had us logging, doing stone work, working on cars. I said, do you even know how to change oil in your car? And he said, no. I said, what about changing your tire on your car? You ever done that? No. My dad does it. I was like, oh, my Lord. And all they want to do is talk and brag about the latest phones they get, shoes they get, because they're still living at home. Some of these guys in the 20s still living at home. And he said, it's hopeless for us younger generation. We have no hope. I said, yes, you do have hope. The foundation is done laid out for y'all. Y'all just continue doing what us older generation doing. That's working hard, honest, hard workers. Show up to work and try to make yourself big. Go to college and get a degree.
Yeah.
And I'm really sad about some of the things I hear, but not all of them's that way. There is some that grew up with great families, military families, and got businesses. But some of these are your typical outlandish, window-licking Democrats.
Yeah.
And they're not going to change unless this country falls, and then they'll regret it.
Yeah, they'll get to a point in life where a decision will have to be made. They'll be faced with some sort of trial and tribulation where they're gonna come to the realization that the world doesn't care about their feelings, and that if they want to stay afloat in life or even succeed, that they're gonna have to do it on their own. And some of them will change their mentality, and some of them will just kind of drift off into obscurity.
You know what I wish, as good as you are on this show, and I love your show. You got some loyal listeners. I wish one of these window-licking Democrats would call you up and debate you. I want to sit back with popcorn and drink a beer and listen to that.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can get that soon. Who knows? They always. Well, the problem is they'll call me, and then they'll say whatever they're going to say, and then they hang up the phone, and so it's kind of like, I'm left talking to myself.
I love your show, and I appreciate everything you do, and you keep up the good work, because us Southern boys like me got your back.
Oh, well, Lamar, I appreciate it, brother. I really do.
Take care.
All right, buddy. Lamar's got my back. I like that, man. I'm on the side of the country boys. I mean, I've lived here my whole life. I've never lived anywhere, with the exception of, like, I spent 2 months in Missouri, but I don't consider me living there. I've never really lived more than 45 minutes from downtown Birmingham. I never lived in the city, but I've lived in the outskirts, including in the country. I mean, I grew up in little old Rimlap, Alabama, for the first 16 years of my life, and stayed in Blount County most of my life up until probably the past 7 or 8 years. And you know, I think I'm a redneck just like everybody else. And New Yorkers and people from blue cities aren't going to come to Alabama and change it around. Yeah, I go ahead and tell you right now, Alabama ain't gonna have it. Ain't gonna have it. All right, more phone calls when we get back. 205-545-9950. Also looking at a live shot at the National Cathedral in Washington as they are continuing on with the celebration of life for Lindsey Graham. Bibi Netanyahu is there. I think that's the main reason he's in town. Obviously, Lindsey Graham was a big defender of Israel as he was Ukraine. I'm surprised Vladimir Zelensky's not there. Maybe he is. I don't even know. But watching that live, but much more to get to right after this. Let's keep rolling on the phone lines, man. I'm feeling it today. Back in the saddle. Everybody wants to talk. Let the people talk, John Bird. Richard the Cop up next. What's up, Richard?
Hearing the last caller prompted me to call in. I grew up dirt, backwoods poor, Andrew. Cold running water on the outhouse out back till I was 15. Wood heat, electric blankets in the wintertime. And my granddaddy farmed and took care of us, and my grandmother was the biblical person of the house. My mama was the workhorse. You learn from those two different generations. And in saying that, I had a friend I went to high school with, and we were roommates in college for about 2 years. He never graduated. His mom and dad were hardworking people. And he lived with them as a grown man until they both died. The last time I had any contact with him, he was in a nursing home in Jasper with half a foot amputated and half another leg amputated. Never had a real job. He sold books for his mom and little book.
Oh, man.
Dang it.
Oh, man. I was just getting into the story. Wonder what happened. Well, I tell you what, Richard, if you want to call back and give us the second half of that story, you can. I'll pick you up on the other side. How does that sound? We'll do that. I was locked in. Lindsey Graham's casket arriving at the National Cathedral. I see Trump and J.D. Vance there standing together. There's Doug Burgum. Who else? Marco Rubio there behind him. A lot of people there, man, paying their respects. And I'll be honest, I like Lindsey Graham. Was he wrong on wanting to bomb the ish out of everybody? Of course he was. Nobody's going to be right all the time, but at the end of the day, I think he was a good guy. He also had to be gay. I mean, seriously.